Hey everybody, welcome back. We're gonna do some nail art here on my little shorties. And we're doing the Loch Ness Monster, who was always one of my favorites growing up because he was so suspicious. You couldn't really see him that well in the photos. I mean, you couldn't see Bigfoot that well either, but I don't know, something about the fog and the grayness of it all made it extra creepy. And I'm mixing these different colors to get the right shade for the sky. I want a very grayish blue kind of sky. All the gels I'm going to be using today are going to be Madam Glam, and then I'm going to use a Koopa matte top coat. And the matte top coat that I use is going to be more used for like an effect, and then I'll end up using the glossy top coat over everything in the end. And I'm working with my non-dominant hand, doing the nail art on my dominant hand. So I knew I needed something fairly easy that I would be able to draw, because I am not good at drawing or painting with my left hand. But I thought it worked out pretty well. It was a little difficult because it just always is, but yeah, I thought it turned out really, really nice. Actually, these are some of my favorites. I'm really, really, really enjoying this Halloween theme and doing some scary nails. And to be quite honest with you, I'm absolutely love doing them. I love doing it on the shorties. Makes it a little bit more challenging, I feel like, because there's not as much painting space, of course. But I like the way they come out. I think they look really fun and whimsical. Now, of course, because I'm not working with my dominant hand, this little video here is going to get a little messy, which was not ideal, but I did clean up around my nails as quickly as I could. And then, of course, after we finished the nail art, I washed my hands really, really good, got any of the gel off of my skin that I had gotten on there, and applied my oils and my lotions. So if you can avoid being as messy, absolutely, that's the better idea. And I realize I'm probably going to have to put down a couple coats of this gray-blue kind of color. I don't know how much mixing the colors actually helped. I may have just been able to do a similar job if I just had used the colors straight, but I haven't really mixed too many colors since I've only been doing nail art for a few months now. So I needed the experience, right? That way I know in the future too. And if you noticed, I also added in like a little bit of base coat in with the colors. I kind of felt like it would give it maybe like a little bit more of a glossy look. But kind of rethinking that now, I'm thinking it kind of just helped everything to kind of run to my sidewalls maybe a little bit faster than I would have liked, of course. Because if you can avoid it not running to your sidewalls, that is, of course, the best thing. When I'm working with my non-dominant hand, I have a tendency to move around a lot more, and it kind of caused the camera to get a little out of focus more than usual. I tried to cut out most of that so that way it doesn't bother you too much as we watch. And I'm just reassessing here. I wanted it to be a little bit more gray, but I didn't want to take it too far, because I want to add a little bit of, in some of the pictures of Loch Ness, there are some mountains in the background that are kind of, a lot of times they're kind of washed out by the fog that's in front of them. So I wanted to kind of create some background mountains for us as well. And a little tip for you that I've kind of been doing is, so I've been building on my Madam Glam products, and what I've been doing is if I catch a sale, especially a really good sale, I'll stock up on kind of the season colors that I think I want to use for that season. Like right now it's fall, so I've been getting a lot of darker colors, more muted tones, and I'm already also starting to kind of get some for the Christmas holiday because I know that's going to be right around the corner. So like right now they're running a really, really, really good sale, 65% off. And so yeah, if you haven't checked out what they have on their website, you should hop over there because there's a lot of great colors for both fall and winter coming up. You can find these gel polishes at madamglam.com. If you don't catch one of the bigger sales, I of course have an affiliate code with them. It is all capital letters TOSHA 40, and that will get you 40% off. If you're wondering why I'm going this direction with my brush, I was just kind of trying to create a little bit more of a lateral kind of looking, or horizontal looking, I don't know what you call it, brush stroke to it. But honestly, I didn't really think about it, but because the gel settles, of course, it evens, levels so quickly, I kind of felt like you couldn't really tell that I even did that at all. So I got this particular idea from just folklore, American, storytelling. And well, I guess it's not just American storytelling because this is over in another country. But anyway, yeah, so my family, we grew up on a lot of these stories, and I've just grown up my whole life like loving them. And so when I think of Halloween, I think of a lot of these classics that I grew up with, and I don't see a lot of them, if hardly any actually, if I've ever seen any done on nails. So I'm really enjoying it. And like I said, I'm especially enjoying it on the little short nails. I just think it comes out looking so cool. And while we're doing this, I'll go ahead and catch you up on kind of what's been going on in my nail world, or just in my world in general. So let's see, this week on, when was it? Wednesday at like 4 a.m., I took my state board written from home, and I passed, so thank God. That was like what I've been most worried about was the written. I'm not too worried about the practical. I do think, though, I'm going to have to go in for the practical. I'm kind of not sure yet because they said I can't take my practical until I get the email from them to schedule for my practical, which I haven't gotten yet. So, waiting for that. I'm ready to get all of it behind me as far as the certification part. I'm not sure why I let like the thought of any kind of testing kind of stresses me out, but I could definitely tell when I finished the written, there was such a weight taken off of my shoulders. So I'm like, okay, well, it'll feel even better when I get the practical part out of the way and I get my certification. And before we draw our monster, I'm going to go ahead and secure our background here. So I'm going to go ahead and add the glossy top coat on the water, and then the matte top coat on our foggy sky. And I'm not too worried about, like if the line, of the matte top coat and glossy top coat kind of merge together. I actually kind of like the effect that it gives when your artwork is not like perfect. I don't know. I like that look. I find that the matte top coat really kind of washes out or fades out your colors in your polish or your paints. And it gives this really cool effect when you do it, well, whether you're doing it and just going to leave your finished product like that, or like I'm going to do in this case, we're going to put on a glossy top coat over the whole thing in the end. It just changes things up a bit, and I really like how it looks. I'm going to use this cool green color for my mountains in the backdrop. And my mountains are going to be, they're supposed to be pretty washed out from my fog, so I'm not too concerned again with getting it perfect mountainous looking. Just to kind of add something in the background that's a little mysterious. I tell you though, I need to invest in some more brushes because I didn't have quite the right shape of brush that I should have had for doing kind of mountains in the background. So just working with what I have here. Yeah, they were coming out a little bit too square for my liking, but that's okay. And if you can't tell, there's some serious concentration going on right here. Hopefully you find this as enjoyable and relaxing as I do. Okay, let's look here and see what we've done, what we've got. Okay, not too bad. My thumb is my favorite. Now we're gonna work on Nessie. I thought Nessie was gonna be extremely easy, but it took a little bit more control. And I'm sorry again if it gets a little fuzzy here and there. I was so busy paying attention to the artwork that I wasn't paying as much attention to what the camera looked like. So I decided, of course, to start with the tail because I figured that would be the easiest part. So this is the tail on my thumb. My cuticles look like an absolute wreck, but really they're not. I'm doing some nail care on myself. So I haven't been pushing my cuticles back or trimming them as often. I do it once a week. But when I'm doing like little things like this, if it's just not time for me to do my cuticles that day, then I just kind of leave them be. And I mainly say that for those couple people out there that are going to be like, oh my God, our cuticles look a wreck. Can't believe this girl is showing a tutorial. Does she not even realize? No, I realize. But I also realize that a lot of people are over grooming their cuticles and doing too much. So I'm working on fixing that on myself. If you have come here looking for Instagram perfection or anything remotely close, girl, you have come to the wrong place. I am just another chick with an acrylic brush doing her own thing over here, keeping it real. And I was thinking over here, since we have this big monster, most of him is underwater, I needed to make actually the water darker because it's not just going to be the darkness of the water, but it's also, his big body is under there too. And let's see, what else did I need to catch you guys up on? So I know I told you that I have a sick cat that he's become diabetic again, which in cats, they can revert from having diabetes to not being diabetic, and then they can go back. So he has a tendency to go back and forth every couple years, and so he's gone back diabetic. So I've been doing a lot of monitoring with him and trying to get his insulin and blood sugar, whatnot, squared away. So we've been doing that, and then studying took up most of the time, honestly. That's been like the bulk of what I've been doing every single day. Now, I usually like to add a little bit of glitter, a little bit of sparkle, a little bit of chrome or something to my nails, so we're going to do that. Something else that I'm going to do when I get a little bit more time and after I get this testing out of the way, I want to sit back down with the book and go over it chapter by chapter and give a quick short video on highlighting kind of what's important about that chapter for testing, because there were so many times during my studying that I wanted to really be able to just kind of either listen or watch something that talked about it. That way I could just kind of beat it in my head instead of me either writing it out or using my cue cards or rereading the chapter and whatnot. I looked on YouTube. There were a couple of videos, nothing really exactly like what I was looking for as far as studying, but a lot of it was more cosmetology and not just nail driven. So when I get some time, I'm going to sit down and do that. And luckily, we'll have, let's see, I think I've got 7, maybe more sets of Halloween nails to do. So, I'm excited about that. Not real sure what we're doing, but looking forward to it. Just finishing up, getting all lotioned up and oiled up, and then we'll take some pictures. I hope that you enjoyed this little tutorial or video. And if you'll remember to subscribe, hit the like button, and share with a nail lover friend, and I will catch you very soon.